Alright, hello, it is after midnight. It is now October 30th, 2017, and I want to try to keep you posted on this storm that we're going through here 5 years after Superstorm Sandy, and we now are up to 43,790 customers on Long Island, in PSCG Long Island territory, that are without power. So we're looking at power outages right here. We'll take it out a little bit here. You can see the map is just full of large, and some of these are large power outages too. I want to go through some of these here. Most of Greenvale, it looks like Greenvale, East Hills is out. The North Shore is hit particularly hard. You have as they always are, you have a 15,000 customer outage there in Port Washington, and you have, of course, the usual areas in and around Glen Cove that are without power. Glen Cove always loses power every time there's wind, and it's not a surprise that they are out again, because even though they've hardened the power infrastructure, there are still a lot of old poles, especially on the North Shore, and they need to replace them, obviously. You see there's a lot more smaller outages down south over here. Have some in East Meadow, some in Levittown. There's also one in Hicksville too, I believe. Oh yeah, pretty large one in Hicksville actually. Looks like it's encompassing the Broadway Mall area. They're out as well. Let's see, it's hard to go over all of them. There's another one over here. The South Shore is getting hit hard too. We're experiencing gusts 60 to 70 miles an hour, so I guess we can't be completely surprised that we're seeing all these power outages as a result of these winds going through our area here. Let's go. Yep, we got another big one here in Amityville. Wow, that's a big one there. Let's see, we got there 1,871. It's hard to go through every single power outage. There are lots all over the island tonight. Another big one over here. You see they upgraded the map, so it's easier to see what's going on. They are all over the place. They're all over Long Island. And the further east you go, I think the worse it gets too, because the stronger winds are out east more. Let's see let's just get over here. Let's see what the South Shore is doing here. Long Beach. Let's see how Long Beach is doing. Just bear with me. They're not having any problems in Long Beach. Let's go further east. There we have some outages on Fire Island. It's just small. Fire Island, not the kind of place you want to be when it's like this, obviously. So yeah, we have more outages out here toward Middle Island. Another outage over here in Manaville. Another outage out here in Calverton. I'm sure once we get to the Forks, there'll be even more. Yeah, there's some outages in West Hampton. West Hampton Dunes, West Hampton Beach. Oh yeah, they're mostly completely out. 205. Yeah, so we got lots and lots and lots of power outages all over Long Island. Another one over here. Another big one. And they're pretty much all over the island right now. So those are the outages we have on Long Island. And I just wanted to compare it to JCP&L, and they just had their number jump quite a bit. In the past hour, it went from like less than 1,000 to now 27,185 customers without power. As this just strong winds are just moving over our area. I don't know. I don't see too many over here. Looks like there's some. Let's see what we got here. Their map's not as good as ours, so it's harder to see, but you can see that they're getting into the wind and the damage too. It's probably more further north. Yeah, the orange is the big one, so if there's an orange one, then that's a big one. But yeah, those are the outages going on. Those are the power outages maps for our area. Now let's take a look at the Wonderground. Okay, this is a look at Wonderground. I'm looking at this to show you the difference in the temperatures. We've had a wind shift to the west now in the recent. It started in New Jersey and it's marked its way. It's moved its way northeastward. So it started in. You can see the winds have calmed down significantly in New Jersey, according to some of these wind observations. At least it looks like they have. On Long Island, you can see we have a west wind now. So when the wind shifts to the west, we're not getting that very strong southeast fetch off the ocean. And what you're seeing is a change. But you can see out on the east end, they're still getting some mouth. Look at that. That's pretty bad right there. Those winds. When you see those barbs on there, the more barbs there are, this is how you read these things, by the way. Basic weather here. These point to the direction of the wind, that the direction is coming from, and the more barbs there are means the more wind there is. So something to keep in mind. All right, so you can see that the temperature is fairly uniform, very warm for this time of the year. But if we look off to the west, you'll see that the temperatures are cooler. Here we've gotten some 50s coming into western New Jersey there. I want to look at the humidity. Let's go ahead and look at that, because this is where it's going to really get interesting. So the humidity is still kind of high. It's higher out east, definitely way higher out east here. Dew point's still in the mid-60s. They're coming down now into the low 60s in our area. And if you go further west, you will see that the dew points are down even further. So we have dew points now in the 50s now in Ocean and Monmouth County, and that area is heading our way. So we should see some relief from the humidity. And this is our radar loop. And you can see the really heavy rain now moving away, but we have more rain back here that still has to pivot through our area. I don't think it's going to be as heavy as the rain we've been experiencing through the later part of the afternoon to this evening, but it will still add to those rainfall totals that we've had. And that is what we're going to look up next. So let's go ahead and look at the rainfall totals. You can see in Connecticut they've had up to 4 inches of rain in certain areas. Looking at New Jersey, Bergen County has had 3 inches, some parts of it 3 inches, 2 to 3 inches of rain. This is like a month's worth of rain in one storm. This will definitely end the drought, but it's not normal to have the drought ended in one storm. Alright, I want to look at Long Island. Wow, Plainview, 3.69 inches of rain. Wow, that's insane. The lakes will be brimming with water now. That's for sure. And I bet you it's even more in Suffolk County. Oh yeah, it is. Sayville, 4.40 inches. I mean, you're talking almost 5 inches of rain. We're definitely setting some records here for sure, no doubt. This is really, really crazy stuff. And it's going to fill up the lakes really nicely. I imagine they would all be filled up after all this rain. And I know we've had some low water levels in a lot of our lakes and rivers and streams. Well, this will put an end to that for sure. I also want to look at the wind gusts, so let's go ahead and look at that. Look at Long Island's wind gusts. Alright, we had Nassau's gusted into the 40s, but Suffolk's gotten hit a lot harder with the winds. And you can see you have some winds almost near hurricane force that gusted up Captree, Plum Island, even Babylon. Had some pretty strong winds here. And this is what's bringing down. You have the combination of the wind, the rain. It's weakening some trees, and they fall on the power lines. That's what's causing a lot of the power outages right now. And we've even had some sustained wind numbers too. These are sustained winds at 30 miles an hour. So you definitely have some sustained gales going on out there for sure. That is definitely for sure. I want to look at the other one. Alright, so I want to look at some of the rainfall totals for the rest of New Jersey here. Just curious to see what they've gotten. Atlantic County, not quite as much as Long Island, but oh boy, Monmouth and Ocean sure have. Wow, 4.15 inches at Howell, Homedale, 4. Oh my God, this is insane. 4.50 inches, and the rivers are going to be, Tom's River is 3. The rivers are going to be raging. It's going to be interesting to see. For sure, you're going to see a lot of water in the rivers and streams now. You know, this is part of the crazy weather we're seeing here. It's nuts. It is nuts. So I think that will be it for this update. Stay dry. Hopefully your power stays on. We have a little more wind to go through, and a little more rain. But we should see the sun by tomorrow afternoon. Alright, so I will show you what all this stuff, what all the damage is done from this little Ghost of Sandy. I'm going to call this the Ghost of Sandy. Yeah, that's what I'm going to call it. Take care.